Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I'm at Clifton Park Center Mall, formerly Clifton Country Mall, in Clifton Park, New York. As always, I like to ask the question, is this a dead mall, a dying mall, or is it doing just fine? In this case, a more appropriate question would be, how is what's left of the mall doing? My answer to that would be that what remains of the indoor mall almost certainly qualifies as a dead mall. However, the rest of the mall, which was converted into a so-called lifestyle center slash strip mall, seems to be doing fairly well, at least as far as I can see. This mall originally opened in 1976 as Clifton Country Mall, and at the time it was a full-fledged classic indoor mall. The original anchor stores were JCPenney and Carl's, and then at some point, I think probably in the late 70s maybe, Carl's I think was replaced with Steinbach's, but I'm not exactly sure when that happened. This Hilton Garden Inn here was added in 2011, so that's new to the mall. And then this section here, starting I guess right about here, going forward and to the left, was added between 1984 and 1985. And as far as the indoor mall goes, it's really just this 1984-1985 edition that remains. The rest of the mall that was here before 84 has all been converted into outdoor stores, or like a strip mall. And we'll take a look at that later when I do a full drive around of the whole area. Back in the day, there used to be a water fountain just about here. Here's a picture of it. I'm not sure when the water fountain was removed, but I would guess it was probably removed by 2006 when they did the major renovation on the mall and turned it into this so-called lifestyle center. Coming up, this is Marshall's / Home Goods. This is one of two anchor stores that are actually in the indoor portion of the mall. And this one's been here for quite a while. I don't think it was original to the mall. I don't think there was a Marshall's here on day one. But I believe, and I could be wrong here, I think it opened probably sometime in the 80s. So this food court's not doing too well. I'm not sure how many restaurants used to be in here, but at least 2 out of the 4 that I can see are closed. And some of these other closed storefronts might have also been restaurants at one point, but I'm not sure about that. But either way, it's not looking good. This video was filmed on a Tuesday at about 12:45 p.m., about a month before Christmas, so they were just setting up their Santa display, and I'm not sure why they were using a Wonka gate here. My only guess would be that they had this from some prior event relating to Willy Wonka, and they're just reusing it, but I'm not really sure. This hallway here used to be lined with stores on both sides. And as you can see today, there's really not anything left here. It's pretty much just a hallway to get to Boscov's. Not sure what used to be in here. Now, if you've been to this mall before and you can tell me what stores used to be here on, both sides of this hallway, let me know in the comments. Coming up ahead is Boscov's. This was added to the mall in 2000. And before that, it was a Caldor from 1985 to about 1999. The Caldor was demolished in 99, and then they rebuilt it as the Boscov's that's here today. And here's a picture of the old entrance to the Caldor. And then here's what I believe is a picture of the Caldor being demolished. And here's another picture of the mall taken right about in this spot here, sometime in the early to mid 2000s. From what I've read, this mall was never extremely successful and had been thought of as a struggling mall since at least the 1990s, largely due to competition with much larger and more modern malls like Crossgates Mall and Colony Center Mall, both of which are only about a 20-minute drive from here. And stay tuned for my upcoming videos on both of those malls. After you see those videos, you'll probably understand why this mall really never stood a chance against them. As a result of this competition, they decided to change this from a traditional mall to what it is today, a lifestyle center, which basically means that instead of the stores facing inwards towards the mall, they face outwards towards the parking lot. I believe that this change started around 2000 when the Boscov's was added, and they changed the name of the mall to Clifton Park Center. Then in 2006, they took a huge chunk out of the mall, which entirely separated the old JCPenney wing and Steinbach wing from the mall itself. Here's an overhead view of the mall from 2002, and this is what the mall would have looked like from approximately 1985 to 2006. Now here's that same overhead view from 2002, but I've added a blue outline to indicate the current mall and a red outline to indicate the portion of the mall that was removed. And then here's a recent overhead view of the mall, and you can see that it was basically changed from one large mall into one small mall that we're in now, a mostly freestanding JCPenney, and then a smaller strip mall. This Regal Cinemas was built in 2011, and it actually replaced an earlier theater. There used to be a Hoyt's here, which I think was pretty much in the same location. The Hoyt's was there, I believe, from 85 up until probably just a few years before this Regal Cinemas was built, but I'm not sure about that. And I also think that the Hoyt's was actually knocked down, and then they completely rebuilt it into this Regal Cinemas. Coming up on the left is the Hilton Garden Inn, and that was also built in 2011. And I always find it weird to see a hotel in a mall. It just doesn't look right. I know some of you have requested I take a closer look at these mall maps, so here's their current mall map. And this one's a little bit unusual because it's not on a kiosk, it's just on a TV. I don't think I've seen that before. At least not that I can remember. And then this store here is a bit unusual. It says wholesale only. You need like a special wholesaler's license to get in. I'm fairly certain I've never seen one of those at a mall before either. And of course they have a GameStop, which pretty much every mall I've ever been to has a GameStop, even the dead ones. Now don't go anywhere yet, we're just getting started. That's the inside of the mall, but now I'll do a drive around of the outside of the mall. And unlike most of my drive arounds of the malls, this one actually took just about as long to drive around as it did to walk through. Here's the JCPenney. This was one of the original anchor stores. And in 2006, like I said, when they took the big chunk out of the mall, they pretty much left this as a freestanding JCPenney, except for at the very end there are a few stores, but it's like 90% JCPenney. Okay, and now we are driving through the old mall. This would have been the hallway and a bunch of stores in the mall up until 2006. And then this would have been the other side of the hallway leading to the rest of the mall. And let me know in the comments what you think about this lifestyle center here. I don't think I'm a fan of it. I don't like strip malls in general. And the design of this one is a bit unusual. It kind of reminds me of a pastel-colored Main Street. So I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this or not. It's better than it being a completely dead mall, you know, with all the stores closed and nobody shopping here, of course. But just aesthetically, I'm not a fan. And now we're driving through what used to be the Steinbach wing of the mall. So this building here used to be the Steinbach wing. Steinbach's was all the way at the far end, and I think this building wasn't completed until 2009 or so. This is approximately where the old Steinbach used to be. The Steinbach was knocked down, I think, around 99 or 2000. I could be wrong about that, though. If anybody knows for sure, let me know in the comments. And then this is the only photo I could find online of the old Steinbach building. Here's the Hilton Garden Inn. And the Regal Cinemas, both of which were built in 2011. If you go in that entrance there, that'll take you into the center court and then eventually into the food court. And then this here is that long hallway we walked down to get to the Boscov's. And there's Boscov's, which again was also the location of Caldor before it. And if you were to go in that entrance there, that would bring you directly into the food court. And there you have it. That's Clifton Park Center Mall in Clifton Park, New York. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos coming up. And again, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this mall? I say it's partially dead, partially not dead. The inside is dead, the outside is doing fine, which is unusual. I haven't run across that before. But again, let me know what you think in the comments. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.